Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? We are finally back. It has been a bit of a while, but today we've got a lot to discuss. Of course, another game tomorrow, Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Once again, today we're here for the Leicester City versus Tottenham Hotspur match preview and predicted lineup. As always, we'll go for the usual stuff. Team news, a bit on Tottenham. We'll go for the Leicester predicted lineup. We'll get you guys on my score predictions, and we'll just talk about Leicester for about half an hour, as always. So, yeah, just to get started, go and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get involved in the chat, as I always say, and yeah, let us know your thoughts. We'll get started in just a few moments with some team news, which is quite interesting, some injuries, that type of thing ahead of the game. I won't be at the game tomorrow. I'm in London tomorrow, so sadly there'll be no matchday vlog, but I will be back next week for Man United away. So there we go. Leicester fan is in it, as always. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Jack. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Good to see you on here. But yeah, let's not beat around the bush then. Team news then, which is very interesting from the press conference, of course, on, I think it was Thursday at Seagraves. As we can see here, breaking, Brendan Rodgers confirms that Ricardo Pereira will return back to the matchday squad for Leicester City's game against Spurs this weekend. He played 70 minutes in an under-23 game this week, and Brendan Rodgers said that the Portuguese international looked great. So there we go. Ricky P finally back. He's been out for absolutely ages. He's always, since he had that injury back in 2020, I think it was, against Aston Villa, he hasn't been the same. So let's hope he can come back in and perform well, because before he got his injury pre-season, towards the end of last year, personally I thought he looked quite good. Of course, scored that historic goal against PSV in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. He scored a goal against West Ham at home as well, and he's looking pretty solid. But yeah, Ricky P back in the squad. I don't think he'll start, but he'll be on the bench on Saturday tomorrow. Ryan Bertrand's back. Who cares about that one? Yeah, Ryan Bertrand also played in that game. He is closer to returning as well. Momo Samore has looked good, but probably won't be ready for the weekend. But he's back sooner than expected. So I think Samore will be back for the game against Manchester United away, which is obviously a big plus as well. And Brendan Rodgers also confirms that Johnny Evans has returned to training. He's working well, but just had a couple of niggles, so he'll come back soon. And we'll need to look after him, look at him. Wilfred Ndidi is back available as well. So, yeah, there is the injury news then. Finally, some positive signs. No injuries to report from the Villa game. And we're just getting players back. So Ndidi coming back, Ricardo back, Bertrand back in contention as well. No one really cares about that one. Samara and Evans coming back to fitness as well. So, yeah, very positive stuff. To be fair, we'll talk about the predicted line a bit later, but I don't know. Would you guys change anything from the Villa game, or would you keep it exactly the same? Because personally, I'd keep it the exact same, because I don't really see the point of changing something which isn't broken. So for me, I'm going to go with the exact same team, exact same tactics as what started against Aston Villa. I think there's a discussion to be had about the midfield area with the three-man midfield. Do we go for holding one, or do we go with the midfield three, which started against Villa, which obviously was quite attacking, but in the end it worked quite well, because we saw, Leicester were able to press quite high, force Villa into several mistakes, and defended all right, I guess. Obviously, we can still conceded two. It wasn't the best of defensive performances, but overall, I think, that midfield three worked quite well. They're all quite capable on the ball, and especially against Tottenham, where you are going to have to move the ball quite quickly if you are going to play the counter-attacking game. We need a midfield three who can do that. Obviously, yet again, if you're going to be sitting back, you want that guy in there who's a bit more capable defensively, such as Wilfred Ndidi or Papi Mendy, or I would say Samara, but it doesn't look like Samara will be back in the team. But for me, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to go with the exact same team which started against Aston Villa. So I'm just going to put that up on the screen right now. So let me just get that up for you boys. Here it is. So yeah, for me, no changes really. I don't really see the point. So in goal, Ward, the back four was Castagne, Sutar, Barfaz, and Victor Christensen. Midfield, you could say three of obviously Tielemans, Dewsbury, Madison in here. Then you got Barnes, Tete out wide, with Iheanacho leading the line, because I just don't see, do we change it? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Does anyone come in? Does Ricardo come in? Do we, put Madison? I don't know. Do we take? It's hard to really make changes from this team, to be fair, because they played so well against Villa, particularly this attacking quadrant here, and you've got these two, Tielemans and Dewsbury, who I thought had good games as well. So it's difficult. do you drop Peterborough and put in Mendy or someone? Do you drop Tillemans? You can't really drop Madison. Can't drop Tete. Barnes is difficult to drop because he had a good game as well. So, I can't really see there being much changes to the team. But obviously, we can make changes, and we've got a lot more depth now with the likes of Ricardo who can come on for Castagna, etc. Later on in the game. Here we go. What do you think we will do in the summer transfer in the summer transfer wise? I think it's going to be a very hectic window. A lot will happen. Players coming and going. I think Madison will go, so we need to get a replacement for him. Tillemans is probably going to go as well. So there's two obviously key players gone. We could see the lots of Wolford and Diddy move on. Potentially Castagna's been linked to move to Inter Milan right now. So yeah, there could be some changes in there. But for me, I think we need to strengthen in as many positions as possible. Obviously, Leicester are now debt free, which is going to help. So for me, I'd say centre back, a full back, at least two midfielders, maybe another striker, and maybe another winger. Really, and try and get Tete on a permanent because we need to get Tete signed already. He's too good, but he's going to cook tomorrow. But yeah, realistically, I'll probably say Leicester will target at least another centre back minimum, probably another full back minimum, at least another midfielder, and maybe another striker. So I can see Leicester making at least or attempting to make a minimum of 4 or 5 signings and hopefully a bit more because yeah, this window in the summer is going to be massive. It's going to be massive implications, but massive in the sense that there's going to be so much happening because I can just see it being very, very hectic. I think we can say bye to Madders because I think that's pretty set in stone that he's going to go. Tillemans as well. And just like I said, there's quite a few players who can move out and Diddy. So we could see some changes there. But as long as we keep hold of the core, obviously we have made these signings with Christensen and Suter, which is going to help. I think we'll keep hold of most players. If we give Ian Acho sufficient game time, I think he'll stay. Obviously, got Vardy, who, let's be honest, I don't think he's going to really affect things next year. You got Barnes, who, may want to leave. I don't know. He might want something a bit different. So, see what I mean? There could be a lot of things happening. It's going to be a bit of a turning window, and hopefully we can get the right players in. But, as January shown us in this very small sample size, it looks like Leicester, with the recruitment, have selected good players, and Suter, Christensen, and Tete have all been very, very good. So hopefully, based on that, we can keep the quality of players coming in, and we should be cooking for next year. But yeah, good question. It's going to be interesting, though. It really is going to be an interesting one to look at. But yeah, let's move on to Tottenham, then the opposition. It's fair to say there has been some interesting encounters over the past couple of years, and I'm kind of happy I'm not going to the game tomorrow because I have PTSD for the last 3 games I've gone to. I was there in the lockdown game, last game of the season where we got the Champions League. I was obviously there for the Bergwijn thing, and I was there earlier on this year and we got battered 6-2. So I don't have very good memories at all from playing Tottenham. I don't think I've ever seen us beat. I don't think I've ever seen us beat Tottenham. So yeah, it's probably a blessing that I'm not going tomorrow. But yeah, talking of Tottenham Hotspur, then implications for tomorrow. A win for Tottenham would take them into the top 4. A point would draw them level on points with Newcastle. So it's a big game for Tottenham, but as we know, a big game for Leicester. A win for us would take us into 12 level on points with Crystal Palace, but Forest could climb up that as well, and obviously Palace could win their game as well. They're playing Brighton at Selhurst Park. But yeah, Tottenham obviously coming into the game on good form. They beat Man City 1-0 last time out at home. There are 3 wins from their last 5. Obviously, Leicester get that 4-2 victory against Aston Villa. Leicester are, as we know, absolutely gargantuan, beautiful, huge victory. But yeah, back onto Tottenham then. This is how they set up against Man City. They went with a 3-4-2-1 kind of formation. I got a bad cold, so I'm going to keep sniffing up. But yeah, key thing, Romero's going to be missing. Lloris also missing for this match, which is huge for me. I think Lloris is obviously, great, but he's still their captain. He's still a good leader in there. Romero's a big miss as well. So, we're going to benefit from that. Apart from that, though, obviously you've got the usual danger man. Harry Kane always scores against Leicester. Son always scores against us as well. You've got Kulusevski, who I do rate quite highly, and a midfield too of a pivot of Højbjerg and Bentancur, which I think it's good as well. You got Perisic to provide the width. You got freaking Emerson Royale, who will no doubt have a game of his life against us. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I think the midfield battle's key. Obviously, they've only got 2 holding midfield. They've got 2 6s here, really, or 2 8s, and Højbjerg and Bentancur. So, Tillemans and Dewsbury, let's say they start, can do a job against them. and then you got obviously James Madison's coming here, and you got Tete and Barnes coming out wide, which can really stretch that back three and pin back Emerson and Perisic. Then obviously you got that more space in midfield because you got the gaps between these two here. Then obviously you can have the fullbacks for Leicester pushing on in, Castagna and Christensen or whoever's playing in the fullback roles for Leicester. So yeah, I think it could work, but then again, Tottenham coming forward is very dangerous. They've got Emerson and Perisic who can bomb on. You've got Son and Kulusevski. Obviously, you've got Kane and Bentancur who scored against us in the 6-2 win as well. And Højbjerg, who is very good and holds that Tottenham team together very nicely as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting tactical battle tomorrow. I believe Antonio Conte is back in the technical area. I'm just going to get up a little graphic of the two predicted lineups actually against each other. So this is how it could potentially line up. These are the two teams from the previous game. So yeah, as we can see here, they've gone with a D to start. I don't think that will happen, but yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting tactical battle. I think we could look to target this side with Emerson Royale. It looks like Davinson Sanchez will come in. Obviously, Lloris will be missing. So I assume it'll be Fraser Forster in goal for Tottenham tomorrow. So he's experienced, but hasn't played a lot this year. So we can look to get at that as well. But yeah, overall, it's going to be an open game. I can't see it being narrow. I can't see it being a low scoring, goalless draw or anything like that. I think there's going to be goals. It'll be similar to the Aston Villa game. It's going to be open. Leicester need to take the chances because if you give Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski a sniff, they're probably going to take it. So and we learned that the hard way in the 6-2 loss, of course, in September at Tottenham. So yeah, I think it's going to be one of them games again where it's just going to be like a basketball game. As you see, injury wise, Basuma's also injured as well. As we know, Romero suspended and Lloris should be here as well. Don't know why he's not there. As we know, Justin's out. Samora, Evans and Bertrand are all doubtful with Ricardo back in contention, as we have already said. But yeah, boys, in the chat, it's a bit quiet tonight, boys. What's going on? It's a bit quiet. What are you guys thinking? Do you think, just let me know your thoughts, boys. If you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. I don't know why everyone's so quiet tonight, boys. Yeah, that is potentially how it could line up tomorrow then, tactic-wise. Obviously, I don't want to go into tactics too much because it can get quite boring. But it's going to be close. It's going to be competitive. And, it's a game which Leicester really needs to go and win because, we just beat Villa. Fair enough. Fantastic win. But we need to back it up now, get another win and keep this good form going because right now it's all about form. It's all about momentum in the Premier League and, that's what can really drive you forward, Do I expect Leicester to win? Will I be angry if we don't win this game? Probably not because it's Tottenham and it's a tough game. But we definitely got the capabilities to win. But I'll definitely take a draw, 100%. You think Brendan should stay next year? I don't know, man. I really don't know. To be fair, I've been Brendan up since. I don't know. I've been Brendan out since the World Cup came back, the World Cup ended and the Premier League restarted. But I don't know. It's tough because personally, I'd say we need to probably get someone else in. But I would give. I don't know. Would I give him time? I don't know. That Villa game just influenced me a lot for some reason, but it's given me a lot of hope, and hopefully it's not false hope that we can turn things around and start playing well. Because although it wasn't the best of the defensive performances, going forward we looked so much better against Villa. It looked like the Leicester of old. It looked like the Leicester when we first had Brendan playing attacking great football. So I'll be tempted to say give him a bit more time, but he's on a very tight rope, and if we slip up in any type of way, he needs to go. But I don't think he will go. It's reached a point where he's had so many points where he could have been sacked and he's got away with it. The Forest game twice. Even last year at times, Napoli away, stuff like that. So you know what I mean? It could be like that. Do you think Tielemans and Dewsbury are good at the defensive midfield? I don't know. And that's the exact point. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. What do you guys think? Because I think Brendan mentioned it in his press conference as well. He always said you need someone there who can win the ball, i.e. Ndidi. But he also said you need someone who can pass the ball. And obviously, as we know, Ndidi isn't very good on the ball at all, is he? So I think that's the balance. And, it's tough. I think if this game was away, I'd probably say, yes, we go with Ndidi. But it's at home and we may have a bit more of the ball. I do think we stick with Tillemans and Diddy in those two double eight in the eight in the double pivot. Man, those is shocker. Should have got some tissue, but I feel like we can challenge for the FA Cup 100%. You know, we got Blackburn, which will be a tough game, but it's a home game. You would expect us to win that, so beat them into the quarters, and then you never know from them. Semi-final at Wembley is always good, so hopefully we can get there. But I think first and foremost we need to focus on the league. As we know, we have got these tough games coming up. We can't let that Villa game get into our heads and think Leicester is safe all of a sudden, because we're not. A few losses and we're back down there. So yeah, we must be careful, but yeah, overall I think there's positive signs, and I think we can really challenge for that. And I still believe we can get top 10. I really do, because that Villa performance, gave me quite a bit of hope. And if you think about it, especially Suter and Tete, they must have trained them a minimum of 2-3 times. They've had a full week of training. The squad's getting better together. Christensen and Barnes can get that partnership flowing. So can Castagna and Tete. The defensive understanding with Suter and Faz can improve as well. I think them two will probably be the set in stone partnership. So you know what I mean. It's hopefully we can keep looking upwards, and we've got players coming back. We've got Ricardo coming back, who has a good relationship with Tete already. So them two could be deadly. And personally, I believe Ricardo. I don't say throwing him straight away, but I believe Ricardo, when he's fit, is better than Castagna. So I would probably go with Ricardo to start ahead of Castagna in a few weeks. But also we need to see how Ricky is. But according to Brendan, in the games he's played, he's been good. So we'll have to wait how that one goes. Obviously, we've got Samari coming back in as well. And just coming back to this question here, I think Samari is a bit more moulded between the defensive and the ball playing ability. I think Diddy's a bit trash on the ball, isn't he? To be fair, Samari is better on the ball when he can bring the ball out a bit more, and I think that's why Brendan liked him a lot. So yeah, I think Samari could definitely be in that more holding six role, but yeah, we'll have to see. But I think the way Leicester played against Villa is more about that pressing game, and I think especially with Tottenham, I think we can push them quite high up the pitch, and they'll probably go long into the feet of Kane. Obviously, Kane's not the fastest in behind, is he? So it's not like that deadly threat in behind. Obviously, Kane is obviously deadly, but I think there's to be fair, I'm off. There's pace in the Tottenham attack. So I don't know, but I think especially home, Leicester just want to play our game and press quite high up. And as we know, our home record isn't great, so we want to try and get that turned around. I think we've got more points away, haven't we, this year? I don't know. It's about the same, but yeah, I just think playing Dewsbury Hall allows Leicester to set the press. Obviously, it's usually him and the striker, so obviously Kelechi, and you got Maddison in behind as well. And we saw what Kieran can do against Villa, pressing Kamara and helping Leicester to get that equaliser through Maddison. So, and obviously got Tillemans in there, who has to play, in my opinion. I thought he was good against Villa. Defensively, he was quite good as well. And although he's not. People won't say, "Oh, Tillemans is a defensive midfielder." I think he can still do a decent job there. I'm not saying play to Yuri there. I'm saying, if he has to defend at times, he can. I think Dewsbury all suits it quite well as well. He presses quite nicely. He loves a good challenge, and he can win the ball back, play it to Yuri, bring it out himself. So, yeah, it's a good question, and it's an interesting balance to really think about. But yeah, I think it obviously depends on the game. I think if you look at Man United away, I'd probably say, yeah, play Samari or Ndidi. But, home games, I think we need to go for it, really. So, yeah, make it difficult for Tottenham and don't sit in, because, Kane, yes, we can sit in, but Kane will still manage to find two or 3 yards, and that's all Kane needs really to score. But on the flip side of that, if you look at the last 20 minutes of that game in September, where they got torn to shreds by Son, if you do leave space in behind against Tottenham, it's curtains for you. So it's all about that fine balance, really. I really think so. But I think, yes, we lost 6-2, but I think Brendan said it in his press conference. That game wasn't 6-2. It really wasn't 6-2 at all. Or it wasn't it? But I think Leicester were well in the game up to about the 65th minute. So yeah, I think we can perform well, and Tottenham don't really. They worry me, but they don't scare me as like an Arsenal or someone like that. I still feel like Leicester can go there tomorrow and pick up the points. So I really think we can get something tomorrow. But yeah, based upon that, boys and girls, what are we thinking for score predictions? Let me know in the chat, boys and girls. What are we saying score prediction wise? It's a difficult one. Personally, I think a point would be a good result, but if we can pick up 3 points here, and obviously we go into two tough games against United and Arsenal, I think that'll be a fantastic result. I don't really expect Leicester to pick anything up against Arsenal, but you never know. They obviously lost to Everton last weekend, so I really think the league in the second half of the season is going to be very fluctuating results wise. I think first half of the year it was more predictable with the likes of Arsenal, Man City, and obviously United coming into form, but I think second half of the season, Champions League's back next year, Europa League, Conference League, etc. There's more games, which is only going to benefit Leicester. I really think we can do well, and especially Man United away next week. They're playing Barcelona on Thursday night, so you know what I mean. There's a chance in there for us. But yeah, here we go. Score predictions: 3-2 to Leicester. You guys are going for very high scores, which I agree with. 2-2, I'd take that. 3-3. That would be some game, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think I'll take a point. And as you guys are thinking, there's going to be a lot of goals in this game. There really is, and I completely agree. I think it's going to be a carbon copy of Aston Villa away. I really think it's going to be like a basketball game, end-to-end stuff, and it's just going to be a case of who can score the most goals. To be fair, I would be disappointed if Brendan changed the team up a lot. For example, if Ian actually gets on the bench, that would be crazy to me. If Marty came in for Sutar, I don't know. Would you guys do that? I just don't really see the point, really. I think Marty's all right, but Sutar, I know he scored an own goal and stuff, which ain't great, is it? But he came in and performed quite nicely. But yeah, if people sign Tete on a permanent, it's difficult, really. It really is difficult. Maybe there is some good clause behind it, and hopefully Leicester are working on it. But obviously, the situation's difficult with Shakhtar. But the key thing is, though, Tete's here on loan, doing well, and lots of Premier League clubs and European clubs around the world are going to be, looking at him and thinking it's pretty good. Let's try and get him in the summer. So it's tough, really. It's similar to Tielemans, really. Obviously, he came in and did well, and obviously, lots of teams wanted him, Man United included, and thank God he signed for Leicester in the end. But it's one of them. But obviously, it's only one game in. But the signs were there that Tete was fantastic. So let's hope he can continue this forward when Leicester can try to snap it up permanently in the summer. But yeah, I think the deal's going to be interesting, but I believe there is a clause in there where Leicester do have a kind of option to buy and get Tete on a permanent basis. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how Tete goes, really. Based on squad right now, where do you think we'll finish? If we can stay, hopefully, if Leicester can stay injury-free and not pick up any key injuries to any key players, I really think we can get top 10. It's a big push, but I want to stay positive. I don't want to really look down. I think the only way is up now, really. And I just like we all know, we have these 3 difficult games, but I really think top 10, and I think this team is definitely top 10 material, really. Start of the season, most people predicted Leicester around top 10, 11th, 12th, 9th, 8th kind of position. So, yeah, I think 10th, 11th, 12th, around that area. I'll probably take that. And, as long as we can stay up, at least we run in the FA Cup, and I'll be happy. Have you heard that Leicester and other clubs want to get Man City out of the Champions League? That was for a few years ago, I think, when obviously Man City got banned and then the lawyers came in and they're back in the Champions League. So, yeah, it's annoying, but all this Man City thing, I don't think anything will really happen. I think the lawyers will come in and do the exact same. So yeah, I don't really think many people should get excited about Man City getting relegated, etc. So yeah, I don't really think it'll happen. But it's always that thing in Man City, and the same what happened with Chelsea in a few years as well, and that's the way football is right now. We've seen the Super League suddenly came back or something. I haven't read too much into it. I don't think it'll happen, obviously. But it's all about money now. And you see what Chelsea are doing. They're breaking, well, not breaking the rules, bending the rules around financial fair play, and obviously giving the lots of Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, etc. these crazy contracts to what's it called, loophole in the in the rules. So that's the thing, and there's always going to be teams trying to investigate, but the lawyers in the money power. I can't really see much happening, but never know what could happen. But I think right now it's just making it for teams like Leicester, I don't know, Villa, West Ham, etc. hard to really break into the top six like us and West Ham did a few years ago. So yeah, it's just one of them really. You got teams like Newcastle, so it's just getting further and further away. So, but yeah, interesting stuff. Do you know? I think Wesley Fano's ruined Chelsea, or Chelsea's ruining him. Yeah, I think he's back fit. I think he's back fit. I did see a photo of him going around Twitter, and his knee looks very. I don't know. Legs look a bit small, so I would say what a shame. But I don't think it's a big shame, is it? Karma, hold it for Fano. Hold it. Some hate to say it, but I don't really care. Do not like the fella, as none of us do. Maybe some of you guys like it. I don't know, but personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Wesley Fano. And to be fair, I think he is. I think he will. I think he is going to regret going to Chelsea because the signings they've made. They've obviously signed Koulibaly after they signed him. They're bringing that Badish guy. I don't know how to say his name, but Chelsea. It'd be tough for Fano to get back into the squad. Come on, Ethan, mate. Come on, man. Look how he treated us, man. Can't be having that. He's a snake. He's a snake, and I always say this. I don't mind players leaving, but he forced himself out. And didn't turn up to training. Got wanted to walk off the pitch, and Brendan goes, "Go and clap the away fans." And it's only a little thing, but that really does annoy me, especially when players don't clap the fans away. It does annoy me a lot. So it's just some little things, and he forced his way out, and I think he's going to regret his decision because it's going to be really, really tough for him to get back into that Chelsea team. Obviously, he started all right and then picked up another injury, and just like I said, players who pick up these long-term injuries are always going to get more injuries, and Souttar's joined. He just came back from an ACL, so don't be surprised if Harry Souttar picks up a long-term injury. I think the only exception is Van Dijk, really. Players who get massive injuries get massive injuries again, or even little things. It's tough for them to recover back from that because Ricardo's a prime example. So is Justin, and it's a big issue. If you guys don't know, I think Sammy Braybrook got an ACL, didn't he? Obviously, Will Alves did as well. So it's very unfortunate. But I think I don't know. A few years ago, you never really heard about ACLs, but now it's there's always a player getting a massive injury like that every single week, and it's interesting to think about how much players are being pushed modern day, and it's clearly taking a toll on the body. But yeah, hopefully no other Leicester players can get an ACL because obviously it really is career defining, really. Because just imagine if Ricardo Pereira didn't get that injury against Villa. I don't think he would be at Leicester right now. I think he'd be playing at the highest of levels because he was that good. He was second behind Trent that year, and obviously Trent that year was incredible. So, that year the Ricardo was in that debate alongside Wan-Bissaka, Trent, etc. He was that good. And you see what I mean? Even Justin, I think he was good before he got his injury against Newport. Start the season a bit shaky, but he start looking alright, and then once again picks up that massive injury. He's going to be out now until next season minimum. So yeah, it's just that. But yeah, I don't rate Souttar. I know he scored an own goal, but yeah, do you not think so? I disagree. To be fair, I think he looks good. I really do. I think he's a massive guy clearly, but I think his tracking back's good. He made a good tackle against Watkins, I think. So whereas that, yeah, I think it's a bit harsh to doubt him after one game. Give him 100%, and I know he scored the own goal, but I don't think he really played that bad. Really, you guys really think? I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I just I don't really think Sutar played that bad, really. I thought he was quite solid. I think, Christensen took 10 minutes to get going. So did Tete. Do Leicester players get injured more? Yeah, we do. I don't know what's that down to. Training methods, training surface, which is a big stretch, I know, but it all comes down to that small things, could be the workload in training. Quite a few players have said that Brendan Rodgers' training sessions are quite extreme and very intense. So yeah, it all comes down to that. Obviously, ACLs are down to impact injuries, or it's obviously not really a muscle tear, is it? Like a hamstring injury or something like that. I can't wait for Ricky P to come back tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I don't think he'll start, but hopefully he can get involved, come off the bench for 15, 20 minutes. But the key thing for me, don't rush the guy back. It'll be heartbreaking to see Ricardo pick up another long-term injury. So, yeah, we need him back as soon as we can. So hopefully he can come back and hit the ground running and add that extra depth and challenge Castagna to start at right back. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we are doing all right. But Sutar, man, he played good, but own goal was extremely unlucky. Don't doubt him, 100%, 100%. Hopefully Sutar can do well tomorrow. But it's a massive test. First home games for Christensen, Tete, Sutar tomorrow against Harry Kane as well. So that is going to be a humongous test for them too. Christensen as well, or against lots of Son, Kulusevski as well. So I'm interested to see how this Leicester team does perform tomorrow. Hopefully that Aston Villa game isn't a one-off, because that's the key thing. We can't just go there, win, and play bad tomorrow. We're back to square one. My score prediction is 2-2. 2-2 or 1-1. I think I would take a point. My nose is so annoying, man. Jesus Christ. I couldn't speak last week because of my voice. Now my nose is playing it. No, but yeah, I'll go 2-2 tomorrow. Tough game, but I reckon we can get the win. But yeah, just before my nose explodes, boys and girls, I'm going to wrap the stream up here. So if you haven't enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll try my very best to go live tomorrow. But I doubt it because I'm in London tomorrow. So obviously I won't be at the game. So hopefully we can get the win. I'll be watching a very legal stream on the streets of London tomorrow. So that should be fun. But yeah, if you haven't enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you've got any final thoughts, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Get involved. And yeah, hopefully we can go there back at the King Power and pick up at least a point or maybe 3 points tomorrow. Big game. But I reckon we could do so. But yeah, stay safe, boys and girls. Thank you for coming in. As always, massively appreciated. And I'll see you boys very, very soon in my next video or stream. Hopefully we can get the win. Most importantly, up the Leicester, and Tete is going to bag tomorrow. Watch.